So, Motzei Tisha B'Av. We are in Daf Tzadi Amud Aleph. Tzadi Amud Aleph on the bottom of the page. Today's Dirshu page is Tzadi Amud Beis. But we are in the Mishnah now in the bottom of Tzadi Amud Aleph. Hamoitzi Kupas Aroichlin. This year is for the Atzala, Atzlach of the whole of Klal Yisrael. L'refuas Yedidia ben Chana, l'refuas B'soch Shachol Yisrael. And Ilu Nishmas of Mary Menachem and Akiva. A moitzi kupas roichlin, a person who takes out a kupa, basically a box which has a few besamim in it, all types of, collections of nice smelling herbs, aromatic herbs. And the roichel, the peddler walks around, he has a box to show people the different samples of the potpourri, the different nice smelling aromatic herbs. Although the kupa has many different types of besamim, of nice aromatic things, perfumes, is only chayv one chatos, yeah? Because there's one time you took it out, one herlem, one period of forgetting, it's chayv only one, although really there are many, many items in it, because the action is one action for all of them. Now, Tosfos says the question, he's saying, what's the chiddush? Of course. If I take a few things together, yeah, we know that even if a person did something twice in the same helem, he's still chayav one. It has to do with the forgetting. Yeah, how much did he forget? If between 9 and 9:30, I did 5 times I took out, I'm only chayav one because I forgot at 9 and remembered again 9:30. So this period of helem of missing the information. So what's the chiddush? So the Tosfos answers, noidol means zev v'niskaper, v'noidol mean acher. He's still potter, which means, let's say he realized, oh, I took out the one type of perfume, and he already had kapara, and only later he remembered again. Even though the remembering was done in 2 different times, he remembered perfume X, and then he remembered perfume Y. He remembered the roses, boom, and then again he remembered the lavender, separately. He still have one because it's called one unit. That's the chiddush. Now let's talk about zaroi negina. Zaroi negina basically are all types of small zaroinim of seeds of vegetables that you grow in the garden. Poches mikrogeres. Although these seeds may be edible, let's say the seed of a tomato, you can eat it. The seed of the cucumber, you can eat it. And we know that food is always kegrogeres. We saw it in Daf Samech, in Daf Ayin. Yeah, we always see it. Yeah, it's always there. Yeah, not in Daf Samech, Daf Ayin, Daf Pei. We always see grogeres is a shiur, right, for food. And here, although it's edible, I'm not taking it out in order to eat. I'm taking it out in order to sow it, in order to plant it in the ground. That's why it's even less than grogeres. Yeah, could be less. Now, Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseiro says how many? He says chamisha. You don't take out less than 5 zaroinim. Yeah, normally, it's not any shiur below grogeres. Only 5 you're chayiv. According to Tannaim, it sounds like even 1 would be chayiv. Yeah, let's say I take out 1 garid, I'm chayiv. Says Rabbi Yehuda, no, only 5 is the shiur which is normal for people to invest and start taking out from the house to the field. You don't do less than 5. However, some zroim are more important than others. And as the Mishnah is going to tell me now, zera kishuin shnaim. Kishuin, which are really cucumbers, not zucchini. In the Lashon of the Mishnah, it's proven many times that kishoin are cucumbers, and Rashi says choshuvu. Because it's choshuv, you have already on 2, not 5, even 2. Right? Because it's so important, so significant kind of vegetable, you have in 2. Zer diluin shnaim. What about diluin? Last is a pumpkin. Zera of pumpkin is choshuv, it's big, it's choshuv. The zera of 2 pumpkins is choshuv enough to be considered as something to take out, and you chayv on it. 1 not, but 2 yes. Not 5. You don't have to wait until it brings out 5. Even if you brought out only 2, it's already choshuv. Zera pol hamitzri shnaim. Pol hamitzri, the Egyptian, whatever that means, the Egyptian bean. Some kind of choshuv, a bean. Yeah, you have already shnaim. Okay, very nice. Now let's talk about animals, and you're not going to believe your ears when you see what kind of pets people had in the times of the Mishnah. Chagav chai tohor kol shehu. A person took out a chagav chai, a live locust. Yeah, a locust which is 1 unit of locust 1. Locust which is edible, meaning it's kosher. Some locusts are kosher, some are non-kosher. He took a kosher locust. How many? 1 Call one alive, you chayev. Why? Because you take it out for your kid to play with. Yeah, that's a nice little pet. Instead of it's much better than a dog or a cat. You have a chagav chai. That's the pet of the child, and you chai if you take it out. Kol shehu, even one unit, because it's nice, it's playful. Meis kegogeres. If the chagav is a chagav which is dead, what do you do with the dead chagav which is kosher? You eat it, of course. If you're Yemenite or Moroccan, if you have the Masayro, then you chayiv like food, and food is always like gogeres, like a dried fig. Tzipores kromim. Tzipores kromim is a very, very interesting kind of creature which we're going to learn about later. The Meiri says it's either a type of locust also or a type of bird, but it's a very unique kind of creature which has some interesting sgula, qualities. Bein chaya, bein mesa kol shehu. Even the smallest size, Tzipores kromim, whether dead or alive, is very valuable. Even the smallest one, you take it out, you use it, you matznia, you store it, you keep it. Because it has therapeutic qualities, you take it out and you keep it, and even the smallest one you chayv. Rabbi Yehuda says, not only kosher one. Rabbi Yehuda comes and argues in Tannaim regarding the pet locust, and he says, wait a second, let's say the pet locust is not kosher. Chagav tome. It's a live chagav, but it's non-kosher. So what? You still take it out, you store it for your kid to play with. How do you keep him busy the whole Tisha B'Av afternoon? Yeah, you store it for your little child to play with. So it's very obvious that the Nakamas say that you don't allow your child to play with the tome chogov, right? And the question is why? The Chor can play with it. There will be a discussion later. Says the Gemara, frag the Gemara. Again, interesting, huh? Frag the Gemara. Verminhi. Yeah, what did we say about taking out the seeds? We say we said less than grogeres. It's not so clear what I said before. I think I was wrong when I said Tanakama said 1 zera, because Rabbi Yehuda said 5, right? And Tanakama said less than grogeres probably means to say a bunch of them which are less than grogeres, but not 1, even more than 5. So now, Frek the Gemara Veramini. We see a Mishnah that we saw before. Yeah, you have it. Yeah, you found. Yeah, Tzadi Beis. Another Mishnah contradicts our Mishnah seemingly. Zevel v'choiladak. Yeah, remember the Mishnah. Zevel, you have manure, fertilizer, v'choiladak, and the thin kind of sand. Kidei lezabel kelach shel kruv diva Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva says you would invest in one kelach, in one cob, in one head of cabbage. You would take enough fertilizer to fertilize one unit in the garden. The Chachamim say krisha. No, you take out enough in order to be mezabel, to treat and fertilize not the kruv but kisha, the leek. Yeah. In other words, the shala is one is bigger than the other. But one we see for sure that you do invest in one unit. And here you're telling me the one zera you don't take out, right? We said even the choshev ones, like the cucumber 2 or pumpkin 2, and the normal one 5. According to Chachamim, even more. And here we see that you do go out and have a special taking out of materials for one only. And why didn't we say that when you take out zera from your house to the field, you don't take out one zera in order to plant? The Gemara really asked that question already in the previous prokim. Amar of Papa, it's not the same. Hod is zaria, hod lo is zaria. Big difference between if it's already planted and not yet planted. Lefi she'en odam torech lo yitzinim achas lezria. The simple answer is very clear, and that is, ein odam torech. A person doesn't bother himself, doesn't go into the exertion of taking out one zera in order to be zoreah. No. In other words, okay, sorry for the stop. Okay, apologize. Okay, yeah. If the answer is simple, if I have something that's already growing in the garden, I would invest and I would nurture it and take care of it, even though it's only one. Sorry. And that's a story over there. I already have a whole cabbage growing. Oh, that's all cabbage growing. It's money, it's food, can sustain a family for a week. And therefore what? And therefore, if I already have it growing, I would take out zevel and put it around and deal with it. Can to start the process of zriya, to start planting from zero, yeah, I don't yet have anything growing bichlal, I'm not toreach, a person would not bother himself, would not hassle himself to take out one zera, ma pitom. Every time I'll take one. If I already go out for a whole planting spree, I would take 5. Maybe 2 if it's choshev, but not one. Not one. The shenkin, if it's already there, yalla. Once it's growing nicely, give it another boost. And that I would even invest in one that's already growing. Zera kishuin. Okay, continues the Braisa. Tonu Rabbanon. Hamoitzi garinin. A person takes out garinin. Basically, garinin, said Rashi, is garinin tomorrow. Yeah, let's say you want to take out garinin. Yeah, it's called stones in British English, I think only. Yeah, the pips of the dates. Yeah. So im lenetia, why would you take them out? What use do they have? Im lenetia stein. If you want to plant them, you want to plant palm trees. For the date trees. So 2, again, it's choshuv. The minimum is 2. In la'achila kimloi pi chazir. Let's say you want to feed something. What is that thing you would feed? Chazir. Why chazirim? I guess I never tried. Never had one. But apparently chazirim, they like to eat the tomorrow, and enough to fill the mouth of the chazir. How much is that? V'kamem loi pi chazir achas. One tomorrow fills the mouth of the chazir. Okay, very nice. So 1 is enough. I guess we're talking about a Jew living in Chutz La'aretz. In Eretz Yisrael, not allowed to breed chazirim. It's exam d'Rabbanan to do the Churban Abayis. There was a war between the 2 brothers of the Chashmonaim. One of them told, right, that Zokin, there was an old man who was of the Derech guy, and he told them, if you bring them Chochmas Yavanis, very good. He told them, bring them the chazir, and halfway through, he basically stuck his claws in the Choyim. Eretz Yisrael had an earthquake, 500 over 500. The Talmud was an earthquake today in Tel Aviv. Yeah, so a small one. So I was told. Anyway, so bekitzer, so chazir is not something that shouldn't be your favorite pet in Eretz Yisrael. In Chutz La'aretz, maybe you can. So I guess that's the issue over here. Now, im lehasik, let's say you want to cook with the tmorah. Well, we know how much is that. You want to use that dry, what we call the stone of the date, in order to cook with it. That's a famous one. The shiur of bishul is always beitzakala. What's beitzakala? An egg, a chicken egg. Chicken egg is the one that's the fastest one to cook, and it's already ready in the frying pan with the oil, and it's already all mixed up. Yeah, it's all whisked, and it takes very, very short time to fry it. So you only need a small amount of garin tomorrow to be there under the pan on the fire, using as fire, as wood fire, as something combustible. In the cheshbon, let's say you want to keep cheshbon, people apparently would use the garine tomorrow. You have it, you want to show them where? Yeah, in the cheshbon, shtaim. The line starts with the word shtaim. Tzadi amud beis, line starts with the word shtaim. I think it's more or less in the middle. What do you mean cheshbon? Let's say you want to keep cheshbon. You count money, and every 10 notes of 100 or so, you want to keep a cheshbon by placing something next to the money. Yeah, in other words, you're making a complicated cheshbon, so you want to basically use one tomorrow, one pip of the tomorrow, one garin tomorrow, to show each one is, let's say, 10 units, right? So this is 1, 2, 3. Here I have on the table five garin tomorrow. Let's say I know that here I have $500. Let's say, yep. Shtaim. So 2. Once a person deals with more than one, he's already dealing with 2. He needs to keep some kind of cheshbon represented by the garin tomorrow. So if you take it out in order to make cheshbon, it's 2. You see, the same item is many versatile shimushim. It depends on your machshava. You chayv chatas lefi the machshava. You chayv with different numbers. Acherim oimrim chamesh. Other people say 5. Why 5? Rashi says something very interesting. Look at Rashi. Acherim omim chamesh. It's a few lines above where we are. The ad daled klodos chashiv inish v'lo minshi. Up until 4 units, you remember and you don't forget. Ve'en tzorich lo siman. Up until 4 people remember. Aval chamesh minshi umotiv simon lekulu. Once you have 5 units, let's say I'm counting Baruch Hashem, I don't know, the guy has $1 million, yeah, and he wants to count them in cash. Closes the door, counts the cash, yeah. So now what? On each 100, let's say on each wad of cash, yes, up until 5 you would remember. Once it's 5, it can get confusing, yeah. So put on a separate table 5. Once it's beyond 4. Right, Robert Benson. You have other creative ideas. That's true. So apparently back then they would use 5. I saw a picture here, I think in the cartoon of the Mishnah, that they show you like 4, and the fifth one is over, like an X, like a strike through. Maybe that's the way it used to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, Tono Bonon. Amoitzi shnei nimin miznav hasus. A person takes out 2 hairs from the horse tail, from the ponytail, the horse tail. Umiznav poro, from the tail of the cow. Chayev is chayev. One would say, why are you chayev? What are you going to do with such a funny thing? Why do you need the hair from the back of the horse, from the back of the animal, from the tail? Because they use them as nishbin to basically create traps for animals. I'm not sure how. Traps for, Rashi said oifois. Yeah, with that you trap the birds, the flying birds, and this is how maybe it's thick. I don't know exactly how it works, but maybe it's prickly, and you prick them. I don't know, but somehow that traps the birds. Miksha shel chozir. Rashi says miksha shel chozir. Also the hair of the chazir, but that's in the back. In the back of the chazir, the back of the pig, yeah, on his back he has like hard kind of hairs, and one is enough. Yeah, Rashi says, what do you do with it? This is something you use as the needle of the shoemakers. Rashi says, chazir ushkefi, not ushkefi. Ushkefi are shoemakers. Yeah, the shoemakers, they use it. Yeah, losses b'rosh mashicha shel tfira. They put it on top of either that's the needle, or the rosh mashicha, maybe they put it on top of they connect to the top of the thread. And that's what they put inside the needle, right? In order to get the thread inside the needle. All kinds of interesting things. Surei dekel shtayim. So Rashi says you have netzorim, you basically have pieces of the, of the palm tree, and they are already they're peeled. Yeah, you have those no. I think what he's saying is you have the branches of the dekel, and they're peeled, and from them you make baskets. Why 2? Because we're going to learn about Shtei Batei Nirin. You learned about it already when I was in Chutz La'aretz. Shtei Batei Nirin, basically, whenever you want to create any kind of crisscross thing, weft and warp, you need to have at least 2 holes. In these holes, you put the other ones. Let's say these holes go this way. You have 2 holes, and then you go that way. So the 2 is like the minimum structure in which you start the sal, the basket with, and around that you build everything else. So the minimum of the sal which you're going to create today is the first time I'm going to start creating that sal, that basket. I take 2 of the, like lulavim. You can make a basket out of lulav, right? Of the leaves of the lulav or something like that. 2 is the minimum to start with. This is something people you see as choshuv, they take it out. Torah dekel achas. Torah dekel, says Rashi, dakin mitzuri ben minasiv hagodel svivoisov. In other words, they are thinner. Yeah, they are thinner than the tzuri dekel, the Torah dekel. And Rashi says, v'lo yodati lamai chazi. I don't know what it's good for. Rashi says he doesn't know what's good for the thin ones of the dekel, the thinner branches or the thinner leaves of the dekel. Rashi says it's only 1. You take out 1 and Sorel Chosh Venaf. Rashi says he doesn't know what 1 of the dekel can make of, but we trust the Gemara. Tziporos kromim ben chai ben mesa kol shu. Oh, so that's interesting. What is this tziporos kromim? This interesting creature? Yeah, the tziporos, the bird of the kromim, the vineyard, the vineyard bird, whether dead or alive, wanted dead or alive, as they say, kol shu. Even the smallest bird, as long as it's intact, it's always desired. And if you take it out on Shabbos, you chayev, because it's sensible. It makes sense to take it out. My tziporos kromim. What does tziporos kromim mean? Omarav palya biari. Palya Biari means what? That's the name. In case you don't know Tziporos Kromim, it's Palya Biari. So I looked in the Meiri. The Meiri says it's either a bird or a chagav, one of the 2. It's a creature which is small. I have the feeling it's very small. It's mashma kol shehu. It could be a small bird, maybe a honeysuckle, I don't know. But it's something that has to be kosher because you eat it. So bear that in mind. So I guess it's a very small kosher bird or kosher chagav. And it has some kind of very interesting qualities which we're going to learn about now. Amar Abai, says Abai, where do you find that creature? You find it in the dekel of one navara, which means it's a dekel which did not yet develop. It only has one sieve. It only has around it, I'm not sure what it means in reality, it only has around it like one wrapping, like one thread. I guess are layers of threads around the dekel. Maybe it means to say, right, when you see the dekel, you see it has a lot of like fibery, right? When you see those cut off pieces of the wood, it has a lot of fibers. So he's saying there's only one. Whichever layers there are, it's so young, it only has one layer, one cover, one fiber. What?
A lot of
Like, yeah, something like that. So that bird is found in a very young palm tree. That much we know. Young palm tree, that's what the birds like to be. The avdila lechuchma, and you do it in order to open the heart, says Rashi. You know, instead of the kid is not so successful in school in Cheder, now you see the treatment. Yeah, in order to make him smarter, that's a thing. What do you do in order to gain chokhmah through this bird? What do you have to do? You cut the bird into half, hopefully you shecht it, yeah, and then the right part of the animal, the person has to eat. That person who needs help academically, he's going to eat the right part of the animal. Palga the smoila, yeah, the left part, what do you do? Ramila beguvta de nechosho. That you have the left part of the bird, you have to place inside a nechosho, a copper case, a case made out of copper, the chatim la beshitin gushpanki, and then he has to close it very, very well. The Gemara is exaggerating by saying 60 seals. But Rashi here, and also, by the way, there's very similar segula, if you remember, in Daf Samech Vav Amud Beis. You have 60 seals. Rashi says that means 60. You have to seal it very, very well inside the case made out of copper, the nechoshes, the left one, yeah. V'talila be'ivra d'smoila, hang it on the left arm, zroya smali of the kid or the adult that needs to get more chokhmah. And how do you know that works? It says v'simonech, yeah, it says in Tanakh, it says v'simonech lev chocham liminoi, v'lev ksil l'smoiloi, the lev of the chocham to the right, the lev of the ksil, the lev of the fool, misken, the person who doesn't have seichel, should be on his left. In other words, yeah, he needs help because he's a ksil. He needs to get some help on the left part of his body. I wonder if it has to do with the right and left parts of the brains. I don't know. The chochim kama de boy. Now that doesn't stay forever. It's a temporary treatment. The chochim kama de boy. Now he should now be as smart as he wants. In other words, the gamal kama de boy, while he has eaten the right part and has the left part very well connected, very well reserved and guarded by his left arm, at that time, it's like a segula, it's a window of opportunity where he can get very smart. He should learn as much as he needs. Let's say he's learning for a test. He's learning for a test, a forhair to Yeshiva Gdoila. He needs a forhair on the whole Shas. Lahavdil, test in medical school. Lahavdil, I don't know, test the law bar, whatever that is. And then learn whatever you need, that period of time. Well, this is in your stomach, the right part, and the left part is on your arm. Like tefillin, I hear. Palga. And then he should eat the other part. Open that very well sealed copper case, eat the left part. The Eloi miakar Talmudoi. If he doesn't finish off by eating the left part, he'll forget everything. He'll forget that he learned. Right? Very interesting. So like you have it, yeah. The right hand side, you eat the right part of the bird. The left one is kept. You learn all night long. Yeah, that's it. He passed the law test. Yeah, whatever. The Gemara test. Yeah, the smicha. Yeah, eat the other half, the left one, and then he's got it. Then go to the test. You know everything. Baruch Hashem. Next time. Yeah. Although the Achronim say not to try the remedies of the Gemara. Today we're in a different sphere, different world. We're much more gashmi. We all spoke about today, right? Tisha B'Av was today, how low we are comparing. So we're not connected to these things. We live in a much more Gashmius world. We're more limited. It's our problem, obviously. So the Chavis Yair says, and others say, don't try it at home, because usually these things don't work. Although some of them do. They told me that the one of the segulas at the end of Bamei Isha, a lady which I know personally, my wife's cousin, she told me her father is a big Talmud Chacham, and whenever they have like a bone stuck in someone's throat, he does what it says in the Gemara and it works right away. Yeah, he takes the same bone from the same kind of food, fish or this, or it says chad nochis blah blah, and they swallow it, and they swallow it right away. Ask your local Orthodox rabbi, whatever, and see what happens. But that's yeah. Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rafa Moitzi. What did we see in the Mishnah? Let's summarize what we saw in the Mishnah about the Choshev Chagovim. So what did we see? Rabbi Yehuda says, everyone agrees that if you have a kosher live Chagav, a kosher live grasshopper, you're matzniah for your child to play with. That's a very accepted pet, even in the Chadorim, I guess. Yeah, so great. What about if it's live? No, excuse me, if it's kosher and dead? B'te'avon, it's food. We don't have the Messiah, Ashkenazim, but Teimonim and Moroccans, they have chagavim. They eat. My brother-in-law, he ate chagavim. He's Yemenite. Yeah, so they have Messiah. They know exactly which type is allowed. So no, I don't. I don't. Yeah, now they have Messiah. They didn't lose the Messiah. The Teimonim, they kept the Messiah from Rov to Talmud, Rov to Talmud. They do. I don't know. They have simonim. The feet are like that, and there are simonim. Is it parv? That's a good question. In any event, I don't know. I don't know. Now, Rabbi Yehuda says, even if you take out, Rabbi Yehuda says, even if you take out the what? Rabbi Yehuda says, even if you take out the tome one, the tome live one, also one that's not edible, it's treif tome. The child can play with it, but Chachamim don't say that you chayiv on that, right? The one difference is the one that is alive and non-kosher, according to Yehuda, if you took out, you chayiv. You want your child to play with it, yeah, and leave you alone the whole Tisha B'Av. Mashenken, according to Chachamim, that's not a done thing. Tannaim says no, you don't let your child play with the non-kosher grasshopper chagov. My timer, why is that? Dilma ochile. Maybe he'll come to eat it. In other words, even while it's alive, at some point the child will kind of lose its good relationship with the pet, and it's going to eat it while alive. He's going to eat it alive. Alive. He's going to eat the non-kosher chagav while alive. I don't want to risk it. My kid will play with the tom animal that's so nice and edible. He's going to make shakol nebedvar and eat the treif one. If you're concerned that the child will turn its live pet to food while alive, even when it's tahor, it's still an issue. Are you allowed to eat a chagav tor while alive? Although chagavim do not need shchita, of course, like fish, they don't require shchita, and the blood mikar din is allowed. Nevertheless, it's still not proper to eat a live chagav. It's not Tabal Chaim. In 1 second, it's crunchy. In 1 second, you're going to end with it. There is no ever minachai, but animals that ever minachai is only with the chav shchita. No ever minachai by other animals. And says the Gemara, there's another issue. The Rav Kana, there's another issue which we're going to figure out soon. Rav Kana, okay, I'll tell you now, I'll ruin it for you. The issue is Balta Shaktzun. I'll give you a halacha which I remember from Shulchan Aruch pretty well. Let's say there are worms you're allowed to eat because they were born inside the place. Yeah, let's say they were born in the meat or born in wherever and never left it. You're allowed to eat the worm maker adin. But if the worm is visible, you're not allowed to eat it because it is disgusting. But Shaktun means don't behave in a disgusting way. So some things are kosher, but they're disgusting, so you're not allowed to do them. According to that, even a live grasshopper to eat is nicht Yiddish azach. It's not nice. It's disgusting. Ben Melech doesn't behave like that. Yeah. And the Gemara proved to us from his story, the Rav Kahana, Rav Kahana was a very, very close Talmud of Rav throughout the Gemara. Rav Kahana was standing in front of Rav. He would like pass, he would pass the live chagav by his mouth. I guess as we're learning, people go like this and like that. Lahavdil. He would pass the chagav, live chagav, by his mouth. Amalei, so Rav rebuked him and told him, Shakali, take it away. Take away that live chagav from your mouth. People shouldn't think a Talmud Chacham like you ate a live chagav. But it's kosher. I told you, in other words, even if it's kosher, as they say, kasher aval masriach. Some things are kosher, but nicht shein. Yeah, you don't eat live chagavim because it's bal teshaktu. So therefore, if you're so concerned about your kid eating the live animal, right? Even if it's kosher, you shouldn't buy him a live chagav either, because maybe he'll eat it. Elamai, you're not concerned he'll eat it. If you're not concerned he'll eat it, right? Then who cares about a tome one either? Ela, right? Will he or want to eat it? Make up your mind. Ela dilma mais v'ochilei. Chachamim say like that. While it's your pet, you don't eat it. You don't eat your pet, your best friend. So while it's a pet, the child would not eat it. But maybe the chagav will die, Eventually, the chagav will die. What does the child do when the chagav dies? According to Chachamim, he may eat it. It's dead already. I can't play with it. It's not my best. It's not my bestie. My how do you say FBB? The girls BFF. How do the girls say BFF? Best friend forever. Yeah, all the things my little girl teaches me. The kids are. It's not your BFF anymore. So what do you do with it? You eat it. You be a utilitarian, and therefore, if it's kosher, the te'avon gesundheit make a bracha. It's a dead kosher animal. Doesn't need shchita. If it's tameh, no. So concerned, the animal will die, and therefore don't buy a kind of animal which, upon its death, the child may eat, and that will be a halachic problem. So buy him a kosher tomorrow. You go to the pet shop, yeah, buy him a kosher grasshopper, not a treif one. We can buy together. No, shutaf. We're neighbors next door. The Rabbi Yehuda, according to Rabbi Yehuda, why isn't Rabbi Yehuda concerned about that? Rabbi Yehuda in the Mishnah is saying no. That really you may buy your child or may take out for your child even a tameh grasshopper. Why isn't Rabbi Yehuda concerned that once the animal dies, he's going to eat it? Rabbi Yehuda says no. Imais katan mispat safidli. If he dies, then the katan will mourn it. He'll give it a hesped. It's my pet. I'm not going to eat my pet, right? And therefore, Rabbi Yehuda's child psychology in the Talmud. Maybe that would be my YouTube title. It's going to get people to come. Child psychology and pets in the time of the Talmud. Oh, I'm going to have all the people coming to the channel. The kids of Zokta Biuda, once the animal is dead, the child is sitting Shiva over it and he buries it, Kaminag, right? And therefore he's not going to eat it. That's what Rabbi says. And therefore you can buy whichever grasshopper you feel like, kosher or non-kosher. If it's alive, he's not going to eat it alive. That's for sure not the concern. Kol sheken. If it's dead, then enochinami, then he's going to bury it, right? He's going to treat it nicely, levaya. And therefore, Mashenkin Chachamim say no. He may eat it even though he was his pet. You don't know how loyal the child is. Lachar misa. And therefore, if it's treif, you don't buy it for him. You don't make it for him. And therefore, on Shabbos, so what's a lochal ma'aseh difference? Aren't you chayev if you took out a non-kosher grasshopper on Shabbos? Says Rabbi Yehuda, yes, you're chayev because it's normally used by Jewish parents to give their children. And Chacham say not chayev because it's a garbage, because no Jewish parent would actually get his child to play with a tameh, non-kosher chagav alive, because they're concerned if it's dead, he would eat it. Hadan alacham Rabbi Akiva, whoa! You see, we just finished Tisha B'Av. You guys stayed alive in Tisha B'Av. And here we're rebuilding Amatzniya. Tomorrow, Be'ezras Hashem, Amatzniya. What's tomorrow? Wednesday night? Starting the... let's start a little bit. Okay. Akiva's already starting.
We have some time.
Amatzniya, 3 minutes. Amatzniya lezera v'ledugma v'lerofua v'yotzir b'Shabbos chayv b'chol shehu. The truth is, they did not prepare the Mishnah. I'll just translate. Amatzniya lezera, a person who's matzniya, something in order to plant, dugma, to show people the sample, l'refua. The kids we'll see tomorrow. So I find it hard technically now. The Seder, thank you very much. I hope you had a good fast. I assume you look all alive and fine. I was going to call all of you today telling you there's no shiur tonight. I woke up with a horrible headache and it stayed there till B'Shem lunchtime. It got better. It got better and I functioned. And Bizchus HaTzibur, Bizchus you wonderful people. Tomorrow, Be'ezras Hashem. Atzlocha v'rocha, tomorrow starting which parak are we? 10th, right? Amatzniya is the 10th parak. Atzlocha, shkoach gadol b'yoyser, thank you. May we be zeicher to see the Geula soon, in spite of everything.